Yeah, this is good.
So how long have you been doing stand-up?
I think I'm coming up on 13 years.
13 years.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm either 12 or 13, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of people know you now, but like I was talking about this with Mark, your opener, backstage, and he was like, it took Andrew 10 years to blow up overnight.
Yeah.
So what were you like when you were kind of at our level, like 4 or 5 years in?
So I got TV pretty early.
Yeah.
So I was doing TV, and I was funny, but I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to talk about. Kind of like honing it, finding my voice, all that kind of stuff. But I was getting the TV, and I started to get some money from TV. And
was this MTV?
I was doing all the MTV stuff, and then like for a moment in time, I was like the guy at MTV, and it was at the end of like the MTV reign essentially. But like I hosted Spring Break, I did all that kind of like old iconic shit that I grew up with.
Yeah.
But and I had a bunch of like TV shows on there.
As in, like, we're down here at Daytona Beach with Blink-182, like that type of thing.
Yeah, okay. Cancun, it was wild. And I knew it was the end of MTV Spring Break because all the sponsors were kind of weird. It was like Target.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like sexy brands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You saw Target, you're like, we got to get out. Well,
Brawny, paper towels.
Oh, no.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had this success in television, and
while still doing stand-up.
My whole reason for doing TV was to build up followers online, because I very early saw that was currency, right? I didn't understand what YouTube space was. I didn't understand what, Twitter I think was happening back then. We didn't even have Instagram, but I was like, I knew I had a Facebook page, and I was like, that's currency.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how do I get those followers? Okay, who is getting up at the clubs? And I looked at all the people who were getting up the clubs, and they were all on Best Week Ever. Do you guys remember that show? It's like a shitty like talking head show. It was like, or I Love the 90s. And it was just like a bunch of comics and like pseudo celebs talking about, the week and the things happened.
Yeah, vaguely remember that. Yeah.
Some dumb shit. But I was like, okay, they're on that every week on VH1. People recognize them, and they're at the Comedy Cellar and the Comic Strip and all these clubs. I need to get on a weekly show. So I end up getting on this show, Guy Code, which was big success in the States in terms of like the demographic it targeted. And it was on a channel no one gave a fuck about, and it wasn't the flagship show, so they didn't even really care what we said, which is always the ingredient to success.
Perfect.
Nothing you put money in works except for Marvel. They're the only people that put money in shit, and it actually works.
Yeah,
true.
Think about everything else flops when you put money in it.
Yeah.
Except fucking Marvel. Maybe Harry Potter was really good too. But it's
Star
very
Wars
rare.
as well.
Yeah, but Star Wars, they didn't think, right?
It's gonna flop.
No, Star
It's
Wars
gonna
didn't start with
flopping.
money.
It didn't start
Star
money,
Wars
right?
was
Initially,
broke,
it was
and
just like,
they were like, "Oh, this isn't going to work,
It's gonna
so
be
have
horrible."
$2."
I don't think it even worked
worked
when it came out. I think it became a cult thing afterwards, apparently. I was talking to my dad about it.
Star Wars.
He's like, it wasn't, he goes, it was popular, but he goes, it wasn't like it's now popular.
So the second one that
I think
is,
the
he
second
goes
one.
massive.
He goes, as soon as Empire Strikes Back came out, and then
That was
like
it.
Darth Vader
Yeah.
was the father, everyone was like, okay, we're in.
We're in.
You know what I mean?
And then they probably go back and watch the first one. It just becomes.
But now with the newest Star Wars, they've put so much money into it.
I think it was just for
And
nerds
it's-
at the time.
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's Star Wars, kinda. They got lightsabers, so
Yeah, there's some front flips. and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. It's white people being athletic.
Yeah.
We get it.
yeah, we need superpowers
just-
to do flips and shit.
It's
I
just the
hate
NBA for
superhero
white
movies.
people. That's
Yeah.
all it is. Just jumping high for no reason. So I got this MTV shit, and then my whole thing was like, all right, I'm gonna get on TV as much as I can, so I can get as many followers as I can, and then I'll do whatever with the followers, because I don't know how long TV is gonna last, but I know if I can get those people following me, I can provide them with content. I can sell out shows.
They're
The
real
whole thing.
humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I want to do is do stand up. So I was like, that's how you do it. I do that. I do some sitcoms, etc. And eventually kind of like relationship with MTV. They kind of move on from me. I do a sitcom after that. It doesn't go. And early on, I start thinking about dabbling 100% into YouTube.
Yeah.
I basically was up for a TV show. And I was like, if I don't get this, I'm going all in on YouTube. And I got it.
Is this like 2012, 2013, or like?
I forget the exact.
Because
Maybe it
YouTube
is.
kind of started popping like actually 13, 14.
Yeah.
It might have been around then.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure, but we were doing what is it, 2019 now?
Yeah.
So we were doing the podcast. We would probably do it 5 years. So let's say it was maybe like 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
I think that's like
Is this
2
flagrant
years
or-
after YouTubers
Brilliant.
came up.
So
Like,
that's
when
where.
when everyone saw, oh, it can be a job.
Yes.
And then a couple years after that, I was like, oh, you can do it too.
So
Yes.
now YouTube is like a podcast network.
It is.
Yeah.
100%. And it's like, so like I'm like, okay, if I don't get this show, I'm going all into YouTube. And I started creating these shows. There's an old show that I have on YouTube called This American Hype, where I was, there's an NPR series called This American Life.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like spoofing that. And I would just do bits into the camera, and we would write a bit every week or 2 bits every week. And they would be like these flagrant takes on like topical things that were like a little wild.
Yeah.
And I just did it right to camera with like the flash editing, and it
Yeah.
was like fun. And we had little pictures popping up. My brother was shooting and editing it, and like me and another guy were writing it. Rob, shout out to Rob Mayo. And I got this
Actually,
show.
shout out to band on this show. We don't do shout outs.
Yeah.
It's
Shout
an
out
official
to
rule we
band,
have.
yeah.
So
Fine,
just wouldn't
sorry.
want to.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
Could
Scratch
you
it.
actually
Cut it.
retract it?
Yes, I
So-
retract all shout outs.
Great. Thank you.
All
Continue.
credit. I will take all credit for everything I've done in my career.
Yeah.
We'll give none to anybody
That's
else.
good.
Thank you.
That's what we're
Absolutely.
about.
I don't thank you for bringing me on here.
And that's great.
It's great because we wouldn't want to be
Shout out
shouted
to me for being here. Yeah.
Oh, could you
mm.
retract that actually as well?
So I did the YouTube thing. I got this other show. I moved away from YouTube, and then I started putting out the clips, obviously, because nobody wanted to buy my special. You guys have probably heard that story a million times. And then I was up for one more show, is this Vice show that ended up flopping like super badly, and it was gonna be like
Obviously, because you weren't in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. And it was a horrible idea, but let's say because I wasn't in it. And I said this time around, I was like, and this I already had success on YouTube. I'd already been doing stuff, but I was still flirting in like the regular TV
Yeah.
world, auditioning for shows, trying to think of shows I could sell them, you know, like dropping in, for example, the travel show that I do. We had a deal to potentially sell that to this travel food company.
Yeah.
And they pulled out in a real piece of shit way. We filmed it. We did the pilot and everything. It's up. You can actually look at the pilot. I put it on my YouTube. But, and I was at Burning Man. I was going on the way to Burning Man. I go to this Burning Man thing every year.
Yeah.
And I just asked them, hey, do me a favor. If you don't want to do it, just tell me the day before I go to Burning Man. I know you can wait until you can wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Just tell me Friday or Saturday, because once I'm there for 9 days with no internet.
Yeah.
And then right
You'll
after
be thinking
that,
about it.
No, not even that.
No.
After that, I have to fly to Europe to go on tour, and I want to film my tour for my next special.
Yeah.
So I was like, if you're not going to be involved, just let me know so I could buy the tickets and everything now. Just don't fuck me over. It's
Yeah.
one day. It shouldn't mean anything to you. Just don't fuck me over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they fucked me over. So they wait until the next day to tell me they're not going to do it. I enjoy Burning Man. Somehow with Alex and Matt, we scrapped together the team, and that's where I did Views from the Sis
Yeah.
in Europe. But we organized that on the Winnebago back to drop it off. Like we had like 5 days to find a shooter who could just leave his life and then come with us to Europe. Like it was nuts. That's Views from the Sis. We put out Views from the Sis.
I didn't realize you shot that in the UK.
Yeah, we shot in UK, Amsterdam, Oslo, and one other place I forget. London, Amsterdam, Oslo, some other shit. And Denmark. And then that came out. That was successful. Obviously, Rogan happened, and then I was up for this Vice show, and they went somewhere else. And I said, if I don't get this, I'm going all in on YouTube. I'm not even going to be pitching shows. I'm going to create my own show. I put it right on YouTube. And ever since then, we've been off to the races, man. It's been pretty crazy.
So the best thing you've ever done?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But everything I did needed to happen to get here.
Yeah. You have to get like rock bottom almost.
Yes, I had to be completely disillusioned with the industry. I like there's always that little.
It's hard to
carrot.
go all in with it
Yes.
if there's the chance
Yes.
of like, oh, but maybe.
Because
But
it
if
looks
you-
sexy.
Yeah,
it
does.
still looks sexy, right?
Yeah.
Like we all see TV, we see like some beautiful, amazing special, and we're always like,
Yeah.
I mean, that would be nice.
Yeah.
See, we left our jobs on. We used to be on national radio, and we left in May.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Both of
Do
you guys
this.
had a show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is what the podcast used to be a radio show. Now it's just a podcast.
Interesting.
And it's he's more successful for us. And we love all the people at the radio and stuff. But I think we're going to go back in October and just do a month because they want us to fill in.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
you know every Sunday or whatever. Like, or whatever.
Yeah.
So But man, as soon as we went all in on this podcast,
It's the best
the
decision.
fans are like,
Changed.
all the people come out to shows are like, probably 60%, 70%
Yeah.
listen to the podcast.
Easy.
Really?
And it's
Yeah.
like the best thing we ever did
Because
for our stand-up careers. And
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
it was a
and
great
you own
move.
it. You have it. Nobody
Yeah.
can control you.
it's ours.
Because
Yeah.
like when we're on radio, people are like, when are you on? Like, I don't listen to the radio. And it's like, people didn't even fucking realize we had a podcast. Like, you can listen to the radio show on the podcast. They're like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
it's the same feed as this one, dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just made it hard to be a fan, and also we like having
We're
someone else being in charge of your progression is super frustrating.
Yeah.
And like that was probably because I've always kind of been all in on the online thing because we just don't. The industry is very controlled.
Yeah.
And I'd say radio was. We had the opportunity, and I was like, well, I should try it.
Yeah.
You know, I
It was
shouldn't just
awesome
write
fun.
off. And it was awesome fun, except for them being in control of your progression.
You got to know what you don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, you'll just be like thinking your entire. It's like people who like have only slept with one person. The rest of your life, you're thinking, well, what is other pussy like? What is another dick like? Like,
Yeah.
What if? And if you went through, if you slept with a lot of people, how awful it is. So when you get something great, you're like, I need to keep you. You're the best. And I think that once you create your own shit, you get addicted to it. Like I'm addicted to it.
It's awesome. It's
And also,
the
there's
best.
nothing I can't make that I don't want. Like I never dreamed to like make movies or like make a TV show. I've done it.
No,
it wasn't even fun.
I've no desire to do it. Like, I think a lot of other comics want that TV show. I think, especially in Australia, they're striving for that mainstream
they think they
success.
do.
I don't know if they want the TV show. I think they want the validation of
Yes.
someone going, "We choose you because you're good
I
enough."
agree.
Yeah.
That's what they think they want the TV show.
Yeah.
Once they go do it, dude, it's not fun.
I just want a tour. Like, I just want
Yes.
people coming out to shows. Like,
But-
that's all I want, really.
Yeah. It's a weird. It's weird. It's most people truly don't know what they want in life, man. And a lot of times you get what you want, you just don't realize what you want.
I started doing stand up and I was like, this is for me. Like, this is it. It was
Yeah.
like the first gig and I wasn't even that good. And I was just like, oh, okay, I think this is what I
Yeah.
want to do. And I just kept going back. I was like
Yeah.
addicted to it. I wasn't even doing well at the start. Like, it
Yeah.
took me like 8 gigs to like get a decent laugh.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I don't
It's
know
the
why.
best.
I don't even know. It's even thinking about it now. I was like, why the fuck did I keep going back
Yeah.
to just a bomb? Like,
Yeah. No, you love it, man. It is the fucking best.